You're watching CarTell TV and I'm Jenny. Now, we do read a lot of your comments on the reviews and there has been quite a few requests for an MG. So here you are. And there's also been a few requests for umbrellas. Or maybe that was just me.
The MG badge carries with it some mixed feelings. A lot of people remember it from its iconic British history that dates back to the 1920s and stood for Morris garages. After a turbulent history, under MG's new ownership today, they focus on affordable, mostly SUVs. They are interesting contenders in the EV space as well.
And today I'm checking out the MG HS Plus EV, an affordable plug-in hybrid.
Which means it has both an internal combustion engine paired with an electric motor and battery to give you a choice of driving between full electric vehicle or hybrid.
But as usual, I'll explain how it all works a bit later in the video. But for now, let's start with the looks.
The design is not too ambitious, but rather simple and stylish.
And being the higher essence trim, there's modern LEDs up the front.
The front grille is a spotted chrome design, which against this sterling silver coloured paint and other chrome accents, looks nice.
Now maybe slightly unusually, there are only 3 colours to choose from: white, red, and this beautiful sparkly silver. But I actually think they're really practical colours, especially for Australia. The colour of your car is a huge consideration as to how hot it will get. Now this car is in blasting sun right now. It has been for a couple of hours, and this is still quite cool to the touch. So, something to think about.
Actually, I really like this paint. It's so sparkly. The body of the car doesn't look too sleek or futuristic in its design, but it looks like the designers have done just enough to keep it looking modern in today's market. It's a simple design that works. So, what's driving this MG? Under the bonnet, there's a 1.5 litre turbo petrol engine. The engine's paired with a battery motor combo. The battery has a 16.6 kilowatt capacity and gives you 63 kilometres of pure electric range.
Now there's really 2 ways to drive this thing, either as a hybrid with petrol and the electric engine, or as a pure EV.
The combined power output is 189 kilowatts of power and 370 newton meters of torque. These numbers aren't bad, and the powertrains are paired with a 10-speed automatic transmission. Fuel consumption with no EV mode active will be about 5.9 litres per 100 kilometres. Your combined consumption with EV is 1.9 litres. It skips to 100 kilometres in just 6.9 seconds. Not sluggish at all.
But the other better way to drive this, and I will explain further a little bit later on, is the pure EV mode.
When you are doing this, you are getting 90 kilowatts of power and 230 newton meters of torque. On paper, not huge numbers, but still good enough for your city wheels.
So providing you stay within the limit of 63 kilometre range, you're actually not using any petrol and giving you a zero emission drive.
There's a Type 2 AC connection at the back for charging the 16.6 kilowatt battery. You can opt for a 7 kilowatt charger through MG that will cost you just under $2,000 and will get you to full charge in 5 hours.
So we've tested it with the emergency charger it comes with, and that plugs into any standard 240 volt outlet.
We leave it overnight and have a full 63 kilometres come the morning.
So you can actually get away with not having to have a wall charger installed. I'm wearing their colours.
So what's it like to drive? Okay, here is where some strong opinions come into this review, so stay with me for this.
So if you have a full charge and a full tank of petrol, then the car will actually determine what it thinks the best mode is for you to be in.
At most times, it will try and use EV where possible. But if you press a little hard on the accelerator for overtaking or going up a hill, then it activates the petrol engine as well.
So I have to say I found this experience not as seamless as I would like, and the switch between the petrol was a bit clunky.
It's not a relaxing or particularly responsive drive in general.
On the other hand, you can select it to go in EV mode if you want.
And while the numbers on paper make it appear that this wouldn't be a particularly inspiring drive,
now actually trying it out, it is very smooth. I mean, there's absolutely no performance aspect to it, but it's great for your Sunday drive.
And having 63 kilometres of pure EV range sets a challenge. It makes you want to drive in a relaxed, efficient manner to stretch it out.
But all whilst never having that range anxiety, because you've always got the engine to fall back on.
Rear and side window visibility is really good, and there is only front-wheel drive option. So this is the first MG we are reviewing, and when I sat inside it for the first time, I found it pretty impressive.
The design and layout is actually better than what I was expecting. It's a pleasant surprise. It's sleek and clean and has a sporty feel.
The panoramic glass roof with the fabric blind that opens and closes is surrounded by white material, which even though the rest of the interior fabrics are darker, it still helps to brighten up the whole feel.
So some of that initial excitement does get dampened a little bit when some of the refinement issues come to light. I mean, it's like that they've gone through and they've ticked so many boxes, but then those boxes are not well sanded. They're just a little bit crude.
My biggest issue was actually with this infotainment system. There's a surround view camera, which is a huge plus.
But when you turn the car on and put it into reverse, it just feels like it takes forever for that 360 camera to come on.
That does seem to resolve when the car's warmer. The screen is 10.1 inches in size and the resolution isn't hugely high. And for whatever reason, when we plug in Apple CarPlay, it disconnects after a few minutes.
The front seats are really comfortable and they've got great lumbar support, so it feels like it would be great for a longer drive.
In the top trim, both front seats are electronically adjustable and are heated. They also look really nice in the two tones.
Now in the back, for 2 passengers, it's actually really good back here. The design of the back of the front seats is something that actually annoys me, but this is nice, it's clean. The pocket design is cool. You have vents, there's 2 USB chargers, and there's a nice little fold-out armrest with a little storage container and cup holders. Also got a good speaker system, 2 speakers back here, armrest. So yeah, I'm giving this high marks. The center seat, however, is not very comfortable. Oh, and the legroom is really good and the angle of the seats is nice too. And notably, the headroom is really good too.
Along with the 360-degree camera in the top trim we already mentioned, there are many other noteworthy safety features like intelligent speed limit assist, traffic jam assist, rear cross traffic alert, adaptive cruise control, active emergency braking, lane keep assist, intelligent headlamp control. Pricing for the MG HS Plus starts at $49,670 driveaway for the Excite, and for this top trim Essence, it's $52,690 driveaway.
So when you look at this car on paper, I mean, it really is fantastic. It's got all the features of something at a much higher price point.
But when it comes to refinement and execution, there are some areas that do bring it down a bit, most notably that infotainment system. It's something that can probably be fixed with an update.
And while I'm not a fan of the internal combustion engine drive, I do really like the EV drive, but it is only good for city and if you're not a particularly aggressive driver.
So if I was to get it for my daily city drive, I would get away with using it as just an EV most of the time with that 63 kilometers of range.
It does make me excited to see what they've done with their full EV ZS model, which we will be reviewing in the following weeks. Thanks again for watching Cartel TV. Now, let us know your thoughts in the comment as usual, and we've got heaps of content coming out. And let us know what other cars you'd like to see us review. We will always try and get them for you. See you next time. Peace.